Could this be the GOAT? The greatest of all time? The best RC car ever made? I don't know, but we're going to drink some coffee and talk about it. So, before I get to this stupid intro, subscribe, click the bell, call your mom, let her know I was here. GOAT time, baby. Let's go. I've been around in RC a long time. See all the gray hair? You know why I wear a hat? No gray hair. Been on racing a lot of classes. Raced pretty much everything. Almost, not everything, but pretty wide variety of off-road, on-road. Those are the only two. Gas, nitro, electric, not wind power. I do have a sailboat. When this class of U4 RC was first started, it was a little bit smaller. They call this 10 scale, but the original kind of class was, from what I remember, a little bit smaller than this. With the, whatever company went out of business that kind of started this. I forget what it is. Not even going to look it up. Now we have the Losi Hammer Rey with a licensed Currie body. Looks pretty sick. Kind of like it. It's not too big to where it takes up my whole trunk and it's a pain in the butt like a big six scale, not six scale. Not too small to where it annoys me that it's small and still costs the same. But you got this baby right here. And I really like the look of it. A couple competitors, you know who they are. But we're just going to talk about the Losi version. Not Team Losi, not TLR. I think they're kind of narrowing down their identity crisis, their ADD or bipolar, tripolar. I don't know how many poles they have with how many names they've kind of rolled through with the horizon mixed in and all that stuff. I like to go on tangents. It's one of them. Anyway, may not be confusing to people anymore because maybe they just know that it's Losi. Because back in the day we called Team Losi Losi, and we never used TLR, to be honest with you. Team Losi or Losi. This is the Losi version. The differentiation is not race vehicles, although you can race them. So, yes and no. But anyway, the Losi side. They make some cool stuff. They're not just the race car version where it's 10 scale or 8 scale or the three. They only have three now. They got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, 8 scale. So, yeah. Now we got some variety in their lineup. And the Hammer Rey with this licensed Currie body, U4 class. What that means is kind of like a deserty off-road truck. Show you the bottom. It's got a 1, 2, 3, 4 link-ish, 4-link rear end, independent front. Kind of like the new Bronco. Not solid axle in the front, not lockable in the front, so open diff. You know, nothing wrong with that. It's good for off-road desert racing. If you ever watch this class in real life, it's a desert racer. It goes straight for long times. It gets to some rock crawling places, climbs up, it jumps over. Pretty sick. In the terms of scaling that to RC, this is the problem. This is the only problem I have with this class. I think this class should be one of the more popular ones, simply because just how cool it looks and how you can mix environments. You could have a off-road track with some rocks. I really like that. But the problem with scaling big to little is when you're really driving this, it doesn't matter if you go 300 miles because you're in it. You're racing this way, you're racing this way, you're going up, you're going down. You're racing. RC, we have to be able to see it. We're not in it. So you can't run desert strips, go fast, straight for a long time. You got a limited view, you got a limited range. I mean, this little radio right here goes pretty far, but not far enough to where you make you feel like you're actually in the King of the Hammers or anything like that. It's the only one I know. I know there's more. So that's the problem. But the problem is solved is that we have RC tracks, and this can go on an RC track, which is like perfect. You could throw in some stuff that's not, you know, like for the little sissy 2-wheel drive buggies that can't have too many bumps. You can throw bumps and rocks and wood and a pile of crap to drive over. I like that part. I think that's kind of fun. So if you're looking for something different that you could bash and race, I kind of see this as like a cool in-between, kind of how monster trucks were or short course. Well, this has a little more cool features of short course. By the way, we're in my kitchen. This is where me, Derek, talks about things in my kitchen. Sometimes not, but I'm always drinking coffee, mostly. Sometimes there might be something else in here. Burn myself. But this is just where I prep myself for doing the review in the future. Just my kind of like, we're sitting here like everybody else on the internet. I'm going to tell you why this thing is good and it's not by never even driving it. I watched the video this time. Usually I don't. Usually I don't watch other people's opinions. It'll sway yours, mine. But I wanted to see some of the video of this, and I went to Losi's site of how it drives, because in general, most of the trucks that I've driven with this kind of configuration where it's higher center of gravity, realistic trailing arm suspension, they have some flaws. They like to tip over. They don't drive straight. Some people will argue that it does, but please, stop it. They don't handle like a fully independent car. Saving grace for most of us, this has active vehicle control. A little gyro in there. So as he starts going like this, the computer corrects for you. Because when we get old, we're like, whoa, let's go this way. We're a Mustang. Crash, because we don't know when you punch it, it turns left in a rear-wheel drive car. But aside from that, I love it. I like the look of it. We got fake exhaust back here. We got some radiator fans, LED lights, pre-installed, real spare tire that comes off in case you blow one out. I don't know how you're going to do that. Some pretty cool, this isn't the one that, my review will show things taken apart. You got rear trailing arms, 2 links, and then sway bars back here. I don't think it gives you any more throw with these sway bars, but it does help a little bit on the left to right. And then you have this cool dual shock system back here. One with a spring and one's just a damper. Feels pretty weak. I don't know if it's just for looks. Kind of want to try to feel if there's oil in there to see if that's just a looky, because it looks cool. I don't know if it adds any function, to be quite honest with you. It would seem to me as if you had 2 dampers and 1 spring, you just have everything lighter, which is okay, because then it reacts faster. Kind of what you want. We'll see. Back to what I watched in the video. My armchair. This is going to suffer from the same thing that most of these things went. I'm trying to see if there's a top speed around here. I bet you this goes fast. 3150 kV motor. They didn't put the top speed somewhere in here. They failed one of the 3 key features of when someone asks you, what about an RC car? How much? How fast? Where do I get it? I think I made one up. But how much and how fast are definitely 2 of the things that people ask. How much? $580, no battery. No charger. Battery's probably like $100. Probably going to take a 3 or 4S. I almost researched what it would take. Completion guide, let's click that. $90 battery, $60 charger they show. So you get another $150. You know, a tidbit expensive, but not bad. Still, for what you get, it looks good. So back to my watching the stuff online, on their website. I noticed, because this probably does go fast, it's a 3S. I'm sure it can take 4, maybe not. When you try going slow, because the scale part of this is tricky. This is why we have rock crawlers that go slow and then you have bashers that go fast. It's very difficult to do both smoothly, especially with a sensorless system, because it's not really great at going slow. It's okay. It'll work. But what I watched on the videos is it looked very jumpy when someone was trying to realistically climb over a rock, like, you know what I mean? Not the smoothest low end. And that's kind of just what's going to happen. If you want to go fast, very difficult to slow. You want to go slow, very difficult to go fast. A rock crawler, if you put like a super fast motor and that thing twists and rolls over, it's the stupidest thing on earth. This goes fast. Yes, it can rock crawl. It's not going to be its strength. It's not going to be its weakness. But I'm going to tell you that the speed control just inherently will not be as smooth if you know what you're doing. If you don't, you may think that's normal. It's not. You can have it smoother. We have little fire extinguisher details. Here's my gripe. Other than watching the video and it going to do what I thought it was going to do. I don't know how to get the body off. And I had one of these in the past, and I realized to take the body off, it's a process. There's no body clips. Let me make sure I'm not stupid. It's very possible. There's no like remove here. I even looked through the instructions just because I was like, right before I was like, I kind of want to show it with the body off. I cannot. It looks very well secured on there. That's a pro and a con. It won't fall off. It's got a roll cage behind it, so it's going to be difficult to break, although people have always proven that difficult to break is not an easy term to keep. I just realized this has 2 sway bars. This just must be a real stabilizer. I mean, just maybe for looks. It's got a sway bar in the front too, of the rear. So there's no way to really get the body off. So access to things are wacky / smart. Where's the battery go? It's a good question. They went for Greek style. So in the rear here, there's a little tab, and you pull it to the side. Battery goes in the butt. Plug is mounted to the chassis, which I like, because it's not dangling around. Believe me, how many times I've had things dangling out of my car and get ripped off because I'm lazy. Switch is mounted, somewhat easy to get in the back. Although I kind of wish it was more accessible from the top, so you can turn it off from the top. But at least it's somewhere kind of smart and out of the way and out of the dirt, so it's not going to really get covered because things should be going backwards. So at least the 3S in here, it's a pretty big pouch. I don't feel, it's not really padded, so I'm hoping they give you some rubber pads, like it's going to be resting on a metal chassis. Not really into that part, but something you could fix relatively cheap. This Houdini trap door right here is actually the motor dropout. So you take these 3, hopefully it's 3, but it could be more, screws, the motor will slide down. In there is a motor mount with preset pinion gear spots. So whatever pinion they gave you in here, I didn't look that up, it's set to a spot. If you go up 1, it gives you the screws. You don't really adjust it because you can't really see it. So they made it kind of smart where if you're going to change something, you have the gear mesh set right, and it's not a guess. Definitely don't want the gear mesh just kind of bouncing around. The tires have a very square edge. I know that's realistic. I'm not sure that's the best performance thing in RC, to be honest with you, but they do look cool. They're pretty foamy and stiff. Again, with the kind of higher center of gravity, you don't want the tire roll, because when this thing starts to lean, you don't want lean and then tire peel off. So I get it. It's the nature of the beast. I can't kind of wait, kind of excited to do this on the track. I'm not excited that it has a sensorless system, because as much as anybody will ever tell me, it is not ideal for actual track racing where you want to hit a break point consistently with the same force. Another different topic of why I don't really like sensorless, but I get it. Not against them. They've come a long way and they go fast and they do the job. Pretty basic, the rest. The shocks, to be honest with you, look a little undersized. I'm used to kind of bigger shocks at this point, especially with this size. I think they could have gone to a fatter shock body. Again, it probably looks more realistic this size, but just for the size and weight and the speed, I would have liked to have seen the bigger shocks. But everything's a price, so it's a trade-off. Other than that, I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment below if you think this class is something you would race, and why aren't more people racing it? That's one of the things. I think we need to discuss this on a live show, where we have more than one idiot talking about it. Of why this hasn't become more popular. Because people do race this and it's fairly popular. I don't think it's as popular as like rock crawling events, but I feel it should be, just because of the looks and the feel. I'm going to repeat myself on that, but it's different. Racing needs scale stuff back just to attract normal people, not RC nerds like you or me or your buddy down the street that sits in his garage all night and doesn't talk to anybody. But overall, I think the Hammer Rey hits a lot of the check marks that I would say makes it one of the better things that you can get. They don't tell you how fast. I'm going to guess it goes fast enough to be a little bit out of control just because the handling of this is going to make it feel faster, even if it wasn't fast. But 3S in this motor, the system, it's going to be fairly quick. Price, you know, $580. It's like 2 tanks of gas, current modern times. So, you know, maybe you don't drive somewhere once. You know, you can get a pure bed race car for similar. You're going to spend more on electronics. But anyway, for what you're getting here, pretty solid looking RC car. I think it's the right size. It's big enough to feel substantial, not big enough to be intimidating, not small enough for me to say, why are you paying $580 for something this big? It doesn't handle, you can't use it. Sorry, little people that like little cars. There's a certain size that makes sense. This is in that Goldilocks zone of 8th scale. I actually would have called this 8th scale because I feel like it's the size of an 8th scale car. I don't know why they chose 10th. Maybe just because it's more familiar. So we're going to do a full review. It's going to be in the magazine. We do a magazine about RC cars, digital download, PDF. You print it. We don't print it. It's delivered instantly. It's still only $10. I haven't changed the price like I forgot to do for a subscription, so I would do it. It's $10 for a year. Even if I don't make enough, it's only $10. Consider it charity. You know, be nice. It's nothing. It's a gallon of gas. Everything's a gallon of gas now. It's stupid. Anyway, check it out. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the magazine. Links to where to buy this will be down below. And if you have any comments about what I just said, what you think, I read them. I reply. If you're an a-hole, I'm an a-hole. If you're nice, I'm nice. If you're sarcastic, I love sarcasm. I get it. You make fun of me, just be nice. Don't be personal. You gotta be smart about it. Losi, Currie edition, Hammer Rey, 1/10 scale, $589 on their website. Still need a battery and charger. You got to use their plugs. It's got the Spectrum system. It'll tell your battery when you use the right battery and stuff, so you don't have to worry about, when your tank's empty, it'll show you. It's kind of cool. The radio, for me, still cheap. I don't know. It's got technology in it. I just don't like the feel of it. I think somehow somebody can make a slightly better looking one, but I guess that's why they offer upgraded radios. So make you spend more money. It does the job, but like if you're really into RC, it's not a great radio. Anyway, time to get out of here. Finish my coffee. We gotta get this ready to rip. Somebody's gotta help me with the video. That's you, Joe. So get ready. And we'll have more of the driving, not me just looking at someone driving, and see if what I saw was what I feel and how you feel. I'm out. That's a V, not a piece, but it's piece V. Velocity. Coffee time. See you later. Goat.